Today on Give Me Shelter, 23 puppies are rescued from an upstate shelter before being euthanized, but will they be adopted?
We get animals that have been abused, beaten, yelled at, whatever it is, that are terrified, and they think you're going to do the same thing.
A dachshund mix with a broken leg is surrendered by her owners, but is it too late to repair the fracture? After a dog's owner passes away, Pet Helper staff notices a potential chronic injury that could make him unadoptable.
It is a very large dog. I don't want him to inappropriately be placed with somebody who doesn't realize what their obligation is.
Pet Helpers is a no-kill, non-profit animal shelter located in Charleston, South Carolina. Since it was founded in 1976, Pet Helpers staff and volunteers have saved thousands of cats, dogs, and other animals. Saving animals is almost always a team effort, full of setbacks, disagreements, drama, and triumphs.
Thank you so much for calling. Okay, bye. Kristen.
We got an emergency phone call from the shelter. It's in Chesterfield, South Carolina, and they're pretty much just an animal control facility. They got inundated with all these puppies, so they called me and said, hey, is there any way you can help us out with 23 puppies?
Currently, a lot of these other shelters just can't drive enough people into their shelter to adopt. So they really are desperate, and rather than humanely euthanize, they called us and said, we don't want to have to euthanize these healthy puppies, can you help us? We told the shelter we'd take them, and they brought them to us the next day in crates in the back of a pickup. We had to medically assess every one of the puppies. They were lethargic, a lot of them were malnourished, a lot of them were wormy.
Remarkably, after just a couple days, all 23 puppies were vaccinated, microchipped, spayed or neutered, and put up for adoption.
We were founded based on the idea that there was, simply unacceptable levels of euthanasia in our community, and to this day, we continue to try to, save animals' lives.
Because we are a limited admission shelter, we do not euthanize animals for space. We take care of them for the duration of their life if they do not get adopted.
It's these puppies that are so cute and adorable and adoptable that we're going to be euthanized. If we don't find them homes quickly, we aren't able to take in more puppies if they call us. I've got to turn around and make sure that we get people in the door, that we educate them on responsible pet ownership, and that these animals go out to good homes. And then I want to turn around and say, all right, let's do it again.
The animals that come to us, we don't know what they've been through, so being a voice for these guys is really, really important.
Although the puppies have been saved from euthanasia, it will take a lot of hard work to make sure all 23 of them are placed into good homes. An adorable dachshund mix named Anna was recently taken in by Pet Helpers. Anna has a broken arm and is being prepped for surgery by Dr. Love.
Anna came in with a litter and owner surrender. They were in a dog crate, they were all overheated.
And they kept the puppies in horrible conditions. They weren't being supervised or anything.
All of her brothers and sisters were stabilized, vaccinated, taken care of them, put off into foster homes where they can grow up until they're appropriate for spay and neuter and for adoption.
So when we finally got them into the shelter and we saw that her leg had been broken for some time, it was heartbreaking.
I'm not sure how she broke her arm. They say she may have fell off a couch. That very well may be true. Being caged with all her litter mates, I've seen that kind of injury just from being overcrowded and just kind of bouncing off of each other.
She has what's called a non-union, and you can see I can move it. That's the fracture there. That shouldn't rotate like that.
The fracture was severe enough that Dr. Jack Love did make the decision to amputate the leg.
The way I'd normally fix it, I just don't think I'd have a good chance of getting repair. If I'd seen it when it was fresh, a fresh break, I probably would have tried it and fixed it. But with an older break, I'm choosing not to do that.
During all these major surgeries, they are on a constant pain medication given by intravenous injection.
Tomorrow she'll probably be bounced up and in eating again. and seem pretty comfortable. She'll be on oral pain meds for a few days too.
It's the way things work at Pet Helpers that one animal leaves to find a happy home while another undergoes a serious procedure.
Primary job on a daily basis is low-cost, high-quality spay-neutering. We also take care of the health and well-being of the animals in our care in the shelter. My wife is the other veterinarian here, and the unique thing we bring to the situation is over 30 years of experience in veterinary medicine, having owned our own clinic.
They had owned a thriving expert veterinary clinic in Middleburg, Virginia, and they were retiring down here. Well, they joined us to be our spay-neuter veterinarians as well as our shelter veterinarians.
We treat everything I think a general practitioner would treat, and I think somewhat beyond. We have also extended some of that into the community that can't afford to go to a regular veterinarian. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to be in the situation I'm in.
We can do a little bit extra, a little bit more to ensure we're sending out some of the healthiest pets that we possibly can.
Pet Helpers has just taken in a 7-year-old Presa Canario named Jake. His owner recently passed away and no one was able to care for him. Before Jake is put up for adoption, he needs to be examined and vaccinated.
Well, this is Bordetella, and this is for kennel cough, and this is DAP2V, and it's for parvo and distemper. So if he gives me any problem when I'm giving the shot, then I'll just, nix it and I'll wait for someone to come here. But I don't know anyone else that's here right now that could hold him, so we're just gonna go for it. So don't try this at home.
Hey, Jim.
Animal Welfare Associate's basically my title. Pretty much come in and make sure all the dogs have been out, fed, daily medications, walked.
Actually, Jason started out as a volunteer like I did. We both came in and we fell in love with this place. We got addicted to the animals.
Obviously not what I went to school for. I went to school for art, but I love animals so much, it's more rewarding.
Are you even gonna notice that I'm here? Are you even gonna notice that I'm here? Huh? Huh? Oh, you got tight skin.
Oh, good boy. We're willing to give hard cases a chance. I love the roughnecks, so when they come in and they're a little bit rough around the edges, I rush right in and play with them. This is the one you won't like that much. It's in the nose. Hey, look out, Goliath. I put you on a leash, but I think I got you.
What's that? Come on. You know what I did, big boy?
Hey, heavy guy.
Although Jake is a rare breed dog, his size and age could become factors that hinder his adoption. After seeing how he walks and runs, Jason notices another concerning issue.
His hips are kind of turned out. I am no vet by any means, but that obviously means he's got an issue going on with it. And our vets hadn't looked at him, so nothing's in stone yet about how his hips are. I just saw that he had a lot of trouble getting up, and he was kind of shaking when he finally got up.
Now that Anna is fully anesthetized, Dr. Love will begin the necessary leg amputation.
A lot of our patients are 8 weeks or younger even when we do surgery.
Although the risks involved in this surgery are minimal, maintaining and monitoring a safe anesthetic level can be the differences between life and death. Samson is one of the few puppies that was rescued from the upstate shelter who is struggling to trust humans. He has been wary of any interaction with Pet Helpers staff, and that can deter him from finding a good home if he is unwilling to come close to potential adopters.
I am very concerned about Samson. He's a very, very shy dog. The staff has spent some quality time with him. However, we just don't feel that we're getting through to him. So it is frustrating, and we're very concerned that we're not going to be able to find him a home.
A lot of puppies come to us at the age of 3 or 4 months, and they're not socialized. They're afraid of people. They're not mean towards people, they're afraid of them. We get animals that have been abused, beaten, yelled at, whatever it is, that are terrified, and they think you're gonna do the same thing. Most of the time, you can work with an animal to pull them out of their shell and teach them that humans can be trusted. So part of what we do at Pet Helpers is we really try to put them into play groups. We get volunteers in their cage to touch them, to feel them. We may keep them as long as it takes to find them a home, but the goal is not for them to live here. The goal is for them to get into a good home and live a long life in that home.
Jason takes a time out to visit with Nala May, a Border Collie mix puppy that has developed an upper respiratory infection and has been put in quarantine to avoid infecting other dogs.
This is Nala May, and she came in about 2 weeks ago. I believe she's right around 10 weeks. And so Nala May, unfortunately, was stuck in the puppy window when we had another dog, Longbach, who came down with an upper respiratory infection. It's not awful. It usually only lasts 10 to 14 days, but it's highly contagious. So we have to keep her separated, quarantined from everyone else.
Once you've handled that dog, you're not allowed to go around and interact with any of the other dogs because you don't want to spread kennel cough.
Quarantining dogs is often a hot topic between Kristen and her staff.
And I get asked often, what's more important here? This sick animal that we're already giving meds to that really needs that human interaction, or do we have to stick to the black and white of you're not allowed in there, you can't go in there? But unfortunately, an outbreak that is highly contagious to other animals supersedes socialization at that time.
I do let people hang out with her, but it has to be the last animal they touch.
Worst case scenario, the infection could develop into pneumonia, so it is imperative that Nala May stays away from other dogs and is treated with antibiotics. Not every animal that comes to the shelter is healthy and ready for adoption. Sometimes difficult yet necessary steps must be taken to ensure a better quality of life. Dr. Love is just about finished with amputating Anna's leg, but there is always a risk she won't come out of surgery alive.
My goal is that she's just going to wake up slowly and comfortably. That's partly why she's going to be on the pain drip all night. If she's in need of the care, she'll go home with me.
It will take 10 to 14 days for the incision to completely heal.
I've had my own animals that I've had to remove limbs from for various reasons, and they teach us a lot about dealing with pain and dealing with disability. They just say, okay, now I have 3 legs, I'll deal with it, and they do. All right, come on, sweetie.
So she'll stay with us on that pump all night long so that as she slowly recovers, she's going to have pain medication all night long.
I don't have any fear for this compromising her quality of life at all. The previous condition in her leg would have compromised her quality of life, so we did a good thing here today.
Although Anna's surgery was a success, it is still uncertain how soon she will find a permanent home. Pet Helpers often receives anonymous calls about abandoned animals. With the rest of the staff struggling to handle the influx of animals back at the facility, Kristen decides to go by herself and try to rescue a stray dog that was reported.
Hey! Hey, buddy! Hey! Hey!
It's possible the dog is feral, which is a common occurrence in the area.
Well, we'll drive down there. It's not prudent to chase after a dog, so I'm gonna cautiously follow her. Girl. You know whose dog it is? Have you seen the dog around in your neighborhood?
Dog always going around.
Have you guys ever been able to touch her or feed her or anything?
No, I can't get close enough. Every time I try to go close enough, it starts running away.
Okay. Where do you think she lives?
I don't know what she loves. We all around here every time.
Okay, all right. All right, well, thanks so much for your help. Appreciate it. In a case like this, I really don't want to go after the mom dog. It looks like it's a mom dog, and she's really scared, and we're so close to a major intersection out here that I would much rather come back with at least 2 of my staff members. But because she is a mom dog, she's probably not fixed, so I'm kind of concerned that she might have puppies too. So I think as a team, we could all come in and try to save her from the streets.
After Jason noticed a weakness in Jake's hind leg, Dr. McKim decided to examine him to see if any medical care will be required before Jake is put up for adoption.
Today's the first day he's been here. He was laying down. He had trouble getting up. I almost had to pick his tail end up.
Okay,
for him.
well, you want to just let him loose and let's just see how he runs. Let's go, buddy. Nope, not in. He's got an obvious lameness on his left rear leg.
Dr. McKim suspects that Jake's lameness is either a congenital deformity or he may have had an injury as a puppy.
What makes me happy is he seems very well compensated. You know, he's moving around, he's walking up to people, he's friendly. So I think that despite the fact that he has a lameness, he has a very good quality of life.
Dr. McKim will take x-rays of Jake's hind leg to determine if his lameness will require additional medical care. If so, his chances of adoption could become even lower.
The downfall for Jake is the fact that he's so big. He definitely is not going to be a good apartment dog. People need to be aware that they have a shorter lifespan at that age and that they need to stay up on top of the medical issues that he does have.
We're going to try to get him placed into a home with somebody who is familiar with the breed. It is a very large dog and it's a very strong dog, and I don't want him to inappropriately be placed with somebody who doesn't realize what their obligation is.
I hope this guy gets out of the shelter immediately. He's going to be very uncomfortable here. He needs a home, a lot of carpeted floors, hopefully a ranch house with no stairs. And the sooner they get out, the happier they become.
I'm very happy to say that we were able to find homes for all of 23 of the puppies that were brought to us. Samson went to a great home, and all the other 22 puppies went into really awesome homes.
One of Scott and Deborah Seiler's dogs recently passed away, and they were looking for a new dog to fill the void for themselves and their other dog, Kaylee. Samson has become that lucky dog.
I think he's just really been a great healing process for the rest of the family. He's been a very welcome addition. We're glad that we're making his life better, but he's making our lives better too.
As we heard the story, we were so glad that we found him, or he found us, and he was such a right dog for Kaylee. We were just very grateful that he came into our lives and we were able to save him.
He's almost 5 months old now, and so many of those months were so mistreated that to gain his total trust is going to be a longer haul.
He wouldn't come up to us at first when we first brought him home. He just sat back like in a corner, and gradually as he's gotten to trust us and to not fear us, that no harm is going to come to him, he now knows we're the source of his food and comfort and playtime, and we can walk up to him and snuggle him.
With over 2 acres of fenced-in yard, a dog-friendly pool, lots of food and toys, and the comfort of a new family, Samson is living large.
You know, we're very fortunate to have Lauren on our staff because she was able to orchestrate the puppies coming down to the shelter here at Pet Helpers, and she was a very integral part of us being able to find foster homes for all the puppies that we pulled.
I'm selling not just wonderful animals, but the idea of happiness and goodness and giving back and creating a better community, and that's what we do here at Pet Helpers.
You know, our goal is to move animals into good homes so that we can save more, and that was a great example, and we're glad we could do it. And you know, it's a powerful reminder of why adoption is important, and you know, don't always judge a book by its cover.
2 days after the leg amputation, Anna was able to walk again without any pain or discomfort.
She bounced back really quickly, and you know, I think everybody here, she stole our hearts almost immediately.
After Anna's surgery, she found a home very quickly, basically through one of our staff. Her boyfriend fell in love with Anna, a serviceman, and the serviceman is actually now based overseas, and Anna is in Atlanta with his parents. There's going to be a transition to where she's going to eventually join up with him again overseas. It's a really rewarding feeling to take a sick animal and send it out with its tail wagging. That's a pretty unique experience.
We got wonderful news today. Jake, our Presa Canaria, has been adopted. It was a young man who came in. His family had raised Mastiff, so he's kind of used to that dog of unusual size, and he's a wonderful guy, and he's exactly the kind of adopter we want. And so the long story short is a lot of people worked hard, and a lot of synthesis came together to find Jake a really remarkable home. And the vets have done some extensive testing, and it appears that he'll be okay. You know, Jake was a challenge. It presented some different challenges, but now we've achieved it, and we're really excited about it.
Nala May's infection cleared after 10 days and she was allowed back on the adoption floor. Jason made sure to play with her every day before she was adopted into her new home. Kristen and her staff are still trying to capture the stray dog and her potential puppies. There will always be new challenges to overcome at Pet Helpers, but for this week, the staff has managed to rehome every animal they took in. The daily contrast between disturbing circumstances and positive resolutions are what motivates the staff to come to work every day. If you would like to assist in animal welfare or give a new home to an abandoned animal, please contact your local animal shelter to learn how.